guys, welcome back to the museum, to another episode of Tank Chess. Today is episode 18, and we're doing another quote-unquote bad guy tank today. Figured you guys are overdue for one of these. So what we're looking at today is a Type 59 Chinese main battle tank, a rip-off of the Soviet T-54A and T-55 medium/main battle tank. Without further ado, we're going to hop into the history of this vehicle. Alright, so like I said, development of this tank came from the Soviet T-44, which was a tank developed after World War II, a little bit after World War II, intended to be kind of a new medium/main battle tank used by Russian forces, which developed into the T-54 and T-55 that we know and love today. This was also designed off that. They kind of basically just kind of copied and used Russian parts for, and some of these T-55s were loaned out to the Chinese, which they then created and made a Type 59. So these vehicles were first approved for service in 1958 when they saw action leading into the Vietnam War. Some of the Chinese loaned them out to the North Vietnamese, who used them in the later stages of the Vietnam War when they were finally using their own armored forces. So these didn't really see too much tank-on-tank combat during Vietnam. More of the tank losses to the U.S. and the South Vietnamese forces were from RPGs and ATGMs and like field guns. But some of these were put up against American and South Vietnamese tanks, which they favored less than considerable against American tanks, and were later continued in the service, saw service up until the 1990s, where these were given up to, they were given out to Iran, and about 10,000 of these were used as a primary main battle tank of the Chinese military from the late 50s to about the late 80s, early 90s, when they started developing the Type 69 and other things like that. So these were loaned out to the forces in Iran, and were actually used in the Battle 73 Easting, which an Abrams would absolutely tear this thing apart. So they did not fare well against Abrams tanks, and this one was actually captured by an engineer battalion from 2nd Infantry Division, actually here part of 7th ID, and that is how we got ourselves a hold of this vehicle. So that goes to the history of the vehicle. With that, we're going to hop right into the tour. Alright, so hopping right into the tour of the vehicle right here, obviously you got the front fenders. These were actually designed to come down, and you'll see when we get into the side, but it actually had like side button flaps here along the side. Your standard track links, very Russian and Chinese looking. There's a little bit of added wood on the front here. I guess it would be for support for tie downs and extra equipment and stuff like that. This would have about 4 inches of armor, just kind of like our patent tank. Same with down here, which would be access to the transmission down here. You have your front drive lights and service blackout lights on this side here. And they have a little bit different of actually bush guards. This is actually kind of modeled after like a truck step, so it was kind of used as a step up. Right here, driver would work all by himself down here. So this would have a crew of 4. He would be in here, and then there would be 3 operating in the turret: a loader, a gunner, and a commander. You can see kind of as the turret is traversed a little bit, that you got some smoke grenade launchers on the front here. You got a big IR spotting scope, and you can see the slits here in the front where the coax machine gun and where the gunner sight would be, as well as the 100mm rifle gun. These right here are 2 hook mounts on the front, as well as towing lugs, tow pistols, and airboat lifting plugs, kind of standard data. You see the driver's periscopes up here as well. So that pretty much does it for the front of this vehicle. With that, we'll hop into the turret. Alright, so hopping up into the turret right here, you guys. Right here we have, I believe this actually be your gunner's seat, or the loader would sit in here. Both, regardless, they'll both be in this side of the turret. Over here would be your commander of the vehicle. I do believe this side is actually the gunner sight because there's a infrared spotting scope here, as well as this one is on a swivel mount right here. As you can see, it still moves. But if you want to kind of get a shot, you can see down to the hatch a little bit. You would have just open periscopes like this, just kind of vision slits. And this would be your combo antenna mount, just kind of for combo equipment. Back here we got a bustle rack for extra equipment and baggage storage, anything like that. Right here we have the mount for a what could either be a Dushka machine gun, a 51 caliber machine gun, or also just another 7.62. More commonly, it would be two 7.62 millimeter machine guns on this. As we saw on the side of the turret, you have smoke dischargers that will be discharged from the inside of the vehicle. And you can see it's a very sloped kind of style. Of course, we see the 100 millimeter gun and the other IR spotting scope here on the front. This will be for ventilation, kind of for the crew, and the gunner sight and machine gun, secondary machine gun will be up here, as well as another periscope. So with that, pretty much does it for the turret, you guys. We'll hop down to the side of the vehicle. All right, hopping into the side of the vehicle, you guys, right here you see some stowage mounts for extra equipment. Could have extra barrels, spare barrels, anything like that. There's a bunch of like loose wires and stuff that are coming from out of the tank that'll be used for like access and stuff from the side of the turret. You can actually see the turret ring right here. It was actually on a mount that kind of came off the hull. These here are basically glorified mud flaps that act as a dust cover. These will actually be used as step-ups, so the crew could get up better. So that's what these are, glorified and pretty much mud flaps, but used as side scoops. Well, here we got the road wheels with a flat track torsion bar suspension system. You see the drive sprocket in the back and the support road wheel in the front. You see an extra stowage bustle rack right here. They store extra equipment, launch smoke grenades from here, and you can see where another storage mount would be, as well as access to the engine deck. So that pretty much covers it for the turret, the side of the vehicle. Hop right into the back. Hopping into the back of this vehicle, you guys, right here you see towing hooks in the back, as well as exposed tracks. So the mud flaps, the glorified mud flaps, will not cover the entire track, so you have exposed track back here. They could cover these up if they wanted to, though. These would be your tail lights right here. This is what would be your tail lights. This vehicle had a 150 Lima air-cooled diesel engine. So in here we can actually take a look. You can see some of the radiator. It could power this baby up to about 32, maybe 35 miles an hour. This is not a super fast main battle tank, but it could get around fast enough. So that pretty much does it for the engine. You see one more stowage bustle on the back here, the engine deck, and that pretty much does it. Close these up. And we'll get into the close out of this video, you guys. With that, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to episode 18 of Tank Chats. Today we went over the Type 59 Chinese main battle tank. This tank was actually captured in the Gulf War in Iraq. So, I enjoyed doing this video for you guys today. Like I said, we had a quote-unquote bad guy tank today. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next one. Peace.